Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Yes.
Oh, dude.
I had that queued up, baby. I edited that
awesome.
right before you got here.
That was awesome.
Welcome, everybody, to the JJ and Pug Show. It is June 2nd, 2024. If you would like to know the reason why, recording from the Highland Communities Podcast Studio. If you want to know why we're being blessed with the tones of Taking Back Sunday,
Dude.
it's because
I went to a concert for Taking Back Sunday on Wednesday last week, and it was phenomenal.
dude, it's so awesome.
It was so crazy. It was so like surreal, just because you grew up listening to these guys, especially our age, right? Where I mean, there was like a fad. I think everybody who was into some kind of music like this knows who Taking Back Sunday is.
Absolutely.
And they were huge. You
Yes.
know, they're a band out of Long Island. They come in and they just hit it hard. And oh, dude, and I mean, granted, the vocals they're old, older, but dude, one of the guitarists was killer, bro. He was so entertaining. He was just jumping around. It reminded me of like we had a band in high school that would cover their plays, and they were kids our age, so they'd be jumping around, having a good time. And it reminded me so much of that in atmosphere. You know,
that bro was icing his knees all night after that show,
dude. He was jumping all around, bro. But the singer himself, he was doing this weird, he would do this thing with the chord. Like, I don't know, so I've seen POD recently, which is a 2000s band. Yeah. And now they love, now Taking Back Sunday, but they love the microphone with the cord.
Yes.
And they love to like flare it around. And whereas now, people now, they have a cordless mic. But he would swing it around his neck like 4 or 5 times and then catch it with it like strangling him and sing and then undo it. Dude, it was so weird. But
doesn't that fit like the whole emo scene?
Yeah,
I'm gonna strangle myself while I sing
and
this
dude,
song.
he's wearing like a maroon suit almost, and he's got boots that don't match. Like I don't know. The whole thing looked funny, but it was very just 2004.
Dude,
like it was just
100%. That's
it
the
was
thing.
so great.
It really takes you way back. When you said you guys were going to Taking Back Sunday, I was like, oh man,
dude, it was cool.
Dude, those shows are so good. I haven't gone to many shows in like a venue like the one you went to.
Dude, that venue was awesome.
I don't think I've been to one like that.
I would recommend it. Like
a general admin. Like there's no seat numbers.
Nothing.
Right? It's
no.
just like, hey,
it's literally like it's called the Van Buren and it's in Phoenix. It's off of like 5th Avenue in Van Buren.
I was gonna say it better be off Van Buren.
No, yeah, it's like right by 5th Avenue in Van Buren. Dude, it was so just like the kind of concert, like a grunge concert that you want to go to. That's where you want to see it at. It was so cool, dude. And we made our way to the very back, and when we first got there, we didn't come like right at 7 when it opened, and then the girls went to the bathroom and they found us a side spot, and we were able to get pretty darn close to the stage. And we just, as people move, you just get closer and closer. And then when the main act come on, dude, everybody just crunched right in. So, dude, it was nothing. You could have thrown something at the singer and stuff. It was awesome, dude. It was so much fun.
Dude, that's cool, man. Again, that's just one of those things that just transports you back in time.
Oh, for sure, dude.
Just screams you, like takes you way, way, way back, and all your brain can think about is high school.
Yeah, Carl, Kara, Jana, Jana and Carl were probably more into it than Kara and I think, because that's all she listened to. That's all she listened to was that kind of music, and I got her that for her birthday. And it was like, she would just like, no way. And I couldn't say no. Like, if I found Newfound Glory tickets come up, I have to buy them.
Dude, yes.
I'm not a fan of them.
What?
I know. But listen, what's funny is we were just talking about this on the way back from somewhere. And I'm like, it's okay. Because I know Eric is. So you and Eric can go. Like, I know Eric would be down to go watch Newfound Glory. Because Carl would too.
Yes.
And I'm like, there was the one band where that was super popular that I wouldn't.
Was it his voice like Negan?
I really don't know. It just wasn't a band that I couldn't even tell you. Like I'm sure I could sing. I can't play along with one of the.
I would be shocked. You would be shocked how many songs I can play for you. Like, oh yeah, I know this song.
I'm sure I know them, but
especially from that era. Like it was. Everybody listened to that music at that time.
Yeah, well, it was just it was on in everybody's car. It was always that kind of stuff. Dude,
bro, so one of the things I was really bummed. We were supposed to be doing the Kobe era GOT draft tonight. Yeah, but Carl woke up something.
Kinked his neck.
There you go.
Let's just call it what it is. He was riding his electric motorcycle. And probably just maybe throttled out of it or something.
Yeah, it's probably something a little too quick.
Or Kara hit him, but that's a different story.
But he couldn't come. But dude, I had a full conversation I wanted to have with Carl, specifically with that music. I had another song that I was going to play for him. We'll wait until Wednesday when I can do it.
Oh, for sure.
Because dude, I have so many memories of just certain specific songs. Like if I hear this song, I'll always think of Carl. And there's one band. I don't think anybody else in the world remembers this band. But when I can't wait to play it for Carl because he's going to be like, oh, yeah. Or he better anyway. I'll be bummed if he doesn't.
That's how that Taking Back Sunday. There's one kid who comes to mind. His name's Kevin Burke. I went to school with him, and I remember going 100 and something miles an hour down a back road in Show Low in his Maxima, blasting Taking Back Sunday, sunroof open, and it's that part where like, and with my one last dying breath, I'd apologize for bleeding on your shirt, and we're just screaming down the road, dude. Oh yeah, it was fun time.
It is so funny when you go back and you sing those lyrics to yourself. You're like, what was wrong with these guys? Oh
yeah, bro, it's so terrible. Dude.
Yeah,
like
it is awful,
it's dark, but
for real. And I remember thinking that in the time, but I never really really conceptualized.
We didn't take it really literal, though. Yeah. That's the thing. Our generation, we didn't take that stuff literal. They were just singing.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there were people that related to it, but it was a very small amount of people.
It was
just good music.
I saw this guy do a stand-up bit, and he was talking about emo music from the early 2000s. He's like, you guys ever listen to this? You ever wonder what's going on with these guys? I mean, because these guys, they're all guys from suburbia whose life is fine. But if you listen to the music, they're literally dying.
Yeah, it sounds terrible.
Their lives are fine. And then he talks about the song by Simple Plan, I'm Just a Kid. He's like,
yeah.
The literal opening lyrics to this, I woke up, it was 7, waited till 11 just to see if anyone would call.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, you only gave them 4 hours? 4 hours nobody called you, your life's falling apart? Like, come on, get some perspective here.
Big deal, dude. That one, what was that? The one Perfect song? By Simple Plan, I think was kind of dark too. It was very I remember the music video was like rainy and dark or something.
Yeah.
But
there's a lot of those, dude.
I'd go see Simple Plan too. That'd be cool to see.
Dude, Simple Plan's a little bit different now. They are still recording stuff.
Are they really?
Yeah, they had this latest. I say still recording stuff. I gotta remember that it's not. It's 2024. I think the last one I heard was 2018. So it's been 6 years.
Yeah, you need to. Yeah, it's just hard to think that, dude.
Dude. Really, it's like we hit the end of 2019, and that's where I'm stuck. In fact, there's a song by Fall Out Boy that is just about that. It's called What a Time to Be Alive. It's from their latest album. They are still recording. And it's talking about how, we're all just still stuck in 2019. Like, everything after that is just, it's like, is this a dream? This can't be real, right?
Well, I think a lot of it for you is because of your kid's age.
Yeah.
That's what, that gap, that time frame is just kind of, you're stuck. Because, 6 years ago, how old is your oldest? You know what I mean?
7.
So you were into this whole, that's kind of what you remember. And now it's been a blur because raising kids is,
everything
it's
goes
a tornado,
fast.
bro.
Everything goes so
everything
fast.
just flies by. The days sometimes drag on, but the weeks fly by, and you're like, holy cow,
I was just having this conversation earlier today with I went to see my mom at her house, and my mom, my dad, and all my brothers and sisters were over there for a special family, milestone, say. And we're all talking about the kids' ages, and we're just. I had told somebody, it's like, yeah, my twins are going to be 8 this year, and their eyes just popped, like, what? Yeah. They're going to be 8? And I'm like, yeah, dude, they're going to be 8 this year.
And I remember that because that's the big year, right? That's a baptism year, and it's all kinds of things. And I remember that stuff with my kids like it was yesterday. And now my oldest is 17. I'm like, what?
Dude, she's going to be a senior.
Yeah,
a senior this year.
It's crazy, dude. It's just. Yeah, I don't even. What do you say? And again, we've talked about this before, but everybody tells you how fast it goes, but you don't listen.
No,
you don't care. You're like, whatever.
Here's the thing: is we talked about with singing along to those terrible songs about cutting your wrists open and letting the pain. You don't conceptualize it.
No,
you don't understand or truly recognize how realistic some things actually are. And it's funny. The whole reason why I said that is I was just thinking about one of my favorite songs or bands to scream to as we're driving 100 miles an hour down a back road. It's Dashboard Confessional.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, back in the day, seeing some Dashboard Confessional, you felt like this guy really understood you. In reality, it's like, dude, I'm 15 years old. I got no problems.
You got no issues at all. You think you have problems.
This girl doesn't like me and I like her. That's the extent to which my problem is.
It's rough, but that's not that bad.
No, it's not. But it is funny because I do remember vividly thinking at that time, realizing that I was being dumb and that my life really isn't that hard, but for some reason being like, but this still just feels right. Like this still just speaks to my soul, no matter how stupid it is.
Yeah, I would love to see some of those old ones. Like Yellow Card would be cool to see.
Dude, I saw Yellow Card in concert.
And did you? Awesome. See, that would just be cool again, dude. Like just that nostalgia of it all.
Yeah.
The
energy that the violinist brought to the stage was pretty weird. You just don't. It was the same. It was on the same night I saw Something Corporate.
Oh, that would be cool.
So
too.
we get these back-to-back punk rock bands that have completely non-traditional instruments in their band. Something Corporate, the piano. Yellow Card, the violin. It just was totally different sounds, but both bands were just awesome.
dude, punk's just a whole different type of music. That era of punk. I don't know if they'd make that kind of music anymore. And if they do, I couldn't tell you a current band.
I can tell you they actually do. And when I say one of the bands is called 408. 408 is thinking of where they are. Anyway, I see them on Instagram every once in a while. I started following them. And every once in a while they come up and I'm like, yeah, dude, this totally hits. But it's not mainstream at all.
Yeah, well, Taking Back Sunday has new music. They have current stuff right now. They have a new album out called 152.
In fact, I think I told you about one of the songs I heard on it. It is awesome.
Yeah, Tidal Wave or Sold or something. Those are the two big ones right now, I think. And they sang those songs, which were great. But
nobody wants to listen to that.
And
you're not going to a Taking Back Sunday.
I was like,
okay,
can we get to can we get to the other stuff?
Yeah, bring me back, dude. Put me in that time machine. I want to go back in time.
They did a great job, dude. That's when the crowd got live. Like everybody was singing along to the new stuff. But when the crowd really woke up were those older songs, and then they ended with Make Sure, and it was over, dude.
So the real question is this. Was everybody in the crowd your age?
Yes.
Okay, no young kids.
Dude, listen, there were a few younger kids like in front of us, but most of them were our age. It was so bad. They were supposed to come on at 9 o'clock. And it's like 9:04.
Everyone's like, listen, bro, it's too late.
There's somebody yelling in the background, hey, let's go. I got to go to work in the morning.
100%.
And you're like, there we go.
I remember when you were telling me when the time when the band was going on, my immediate thought was like, I can't handle that. I can't handle that.
We didn't get home. I think we got out of there around 11. And it was fun. It was a Wednesday night, though. Yeah, I was in bed by 12:30, got up at 5 the next morning to go to work. And I'm at work, and they're like, so why'd you go to a concert on Wednesday? And I'm like, well, I didn't have a choice. I could have took the day off, but really, it's not that bad.
No.
It was
You
cool.
suffer through it, but at the same time, you're thinking, you have to have that pros and cons,
yeah,
whether or not it's worth the cost.
I'm like, bro, why didn't your crowd coming? You should have started at 6.
yeah. We are the 5 o'clock.
We want to be done at 8 o'clock and in bed by 9:30. Like, let's go.
That's so sad. That's the truth, man. That is the truth. But reality, really, when you think about it, if you were to go back in history and look at people at our age in the 40s, in the 50s, in the 60s, bro, they were old at that time.
Yeah.
They were old people.
Yeah.
These are shows that we used to watch back in the day when I was growing up. It was when Kurt Russell first became an actor. He did a bunch of movies for Disney.
Oh, bro, you just made me think of another good bad movie.
Okay, hold on to it. Ahead. So he did these movies where he was like this kid at some fictional college. I don't remember what the name of the college was. And he wasn't like their nemesis, but the college dean was always kind of in the way of whatever, Kurt Russell and his buddies were trying to get done. And I remember looking at that college dean, and he looked so old, dude. He looked like he had to have been in his 60s or 70s. The other day, I'm watching it with the kids because for me, it's a nostalgia trip, right? I mean, these movies were made in the 70s, so it's not like they were my childhood, but I watched them as a child.
Of course.
And I look it up. The guy that played the dean, died at 43 years old.
Oh, my God.
He was in his 30s.
And you thought he was like 60.
I thought he was, yes.
Just because of how he portrayed his role in the movie?
Exactly the way he looked.
Oh,
exactly the way he looked. He had the receding hairline, which I'm pointing at my own receding hairline. He had the receding hairline. He had the big horn-rimmed glasses from the 60s and 70s. And the way he talked, just the way he moved. It was just everything. Because, when I also look back at it, my dad's grandpa died at 51. And he died because he lived a freaking hard life.
Yeah, it's weird to think that got people that are living into their 70s, 80s, 90s,
and that's
pretty
average.
Consistently.
If they don't make it to their 70s, you go, oh man, what happened?
Well, that's like my parents, 60 and 64,
and that's so young.
Yeah,
that's so young.
Or 65. I don't know. Anyway,
because my dad's youngest. My dad's 70. He'll be 73 this year. His 3 youngest siblings all died in their 60s, and all of us are thinking, dang, dude, that's so young. That's so young.
It's crazy to think your life's half over.
Yeah.
Like our life right now is half over.
Legitimately, we are middle-aged. We could have a midlife crisis right now.
Let's go. What could it be?
You're doing a bodybuilding show, so you're in yours, dude.
That's a big crisis. That's true. So it sucks.
I got to figure out mine. I got to do something cool, though. I got to say this, though. I've seriously been considering not doing the show, but okay, you know what? Until Maine, taking it real serious and getting strong. And
it's all diet. You work out enough, it's all diet. And the thing is, like I told you before, you don't eat enough. Believe it or not, even dude, Jana, she's been doing her own thing. It's been great, but it took a while for her to get hungry every couple hours because she wasn't an eater. And now she's like, hey, it's been 2.5 hours. I need to eat.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know. Your body's it becomes a machine. It's starting, and you're using everything that you're putting in. So you're not You don't have just junk hanging out, you know?
Yeah.
So
I
think go
me,
for it, dude.
I 100% know I have to change my diet. I know I do.
Oh, yeah.
But you want one of the big deterrents? We talk about this all the time, but it doesn't become less true every time we talk about it. Just yesterday, I went to Walmart to go grocery shopping.
Candy.
Yeah, don't shop off fasting. But no, it was because we were gone at the beginning of May. We were gone for a week. And then, was it last weekend? We were gone for the weekend. And so I was like, I'm not going to go buy a bunch of food that's going to go bad. So let's just empty the fridge. We'll eat everything in it. And then so yesterday morning I woke up. We literally didn't have any food. Like we had no milk. We had nothing. So I got up before most everybody woke up and went to the store. Bro, you know how much I spent coming out of there? And I'm not talking like fancy stuff.
Yeah.
I got milk, rice. What else did I get? Like orange juice. Like I didn't get high-end brand crap either. I got a lot of the basics. Now I got a lot of them. Like I had to get a whole shopping cart full of stuff, but it wasn't. I was looking at like, okay, I'm not getting fruit snacks this time around. We don't need to get fruit snacks. I know we're out. Whatever, the kids will go without that. That's fine. Stuff like that I did not get. Bro, I was out of there at $300. $300. And I did not get anything that anybody wants.
Bro, I just went to Walmart today. I spent $197.
$197.
And listen, Jen and I do not eat. But this isn't for us. This is food for the kids for dinners for the week and little snacks or whatever, right? They're out of school. And I'm like, I look at the cart. I'm like, what did we buy?
Yeah. That was my thing.
Like, I don't even know how we got here.
Bro, that was exactly my thing. I remember when I finally got to the end of the tab, I'm like, and I don't even have adult children.
Yeah.
I don't have. I got deli meat, deli cheese, like, like, I don't know. It was just one of those things where I'm like, okay, if I'm going to get serious about this, I really have to look at everything that I'm eating and find filler like rice. I hate rice. Not a fan. But maybe I do red potatoes. Like something where I'm like, I gotta just
air fried red potatoes are legit, bro. I did that for a long. Like I pretty much I had that every meal. Like one of my fourth or fifth meal. The last time I did this, red potatoes in the air fryer, dude. Dice them up, get them weighed out, throw them in there, bro. Get them like they were almost like chips or French fries, dude. It's all a mind game, dude.
I love the way you talked about
ketchup.
it. Yeah, I love the way you talked about it last time, which was it makes you feel like you're eating unhealthy. Like it makes you feel like you're eating dirty when it's not.
Dude, I haven't. This prep's been completely different. It's weird to see like different coaches and their styles, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like my last guy was definitely a like cut your carb and up your cardio every week, especially leading into the show. And the guy I have right now, dude, he's like I'm eating, but I'm not losing pounds, but I'm definitely losing inches. I'm staying like relatively consistent because, dude, these pants I have on right now are 36s, and like I can pull them out. Like I should probably wear a belt right now, but I'm like I still weigh 250 pounds. Like, it's crazy to think that I'm probably in a 35, 34, maybe a 34 waist at 250 pounds.
That's awesome, dude.
It's crazy.
That is awesome.
It's crazy. But I like it because it keeps me eating and it keeps me happy. Like, he just cut a half a cup of rice out of my day, which that sucks because I know it's going to get worse. But right now I'm like, okay, that's fine. It's a half a cup. I still get, some rice throughout the day. But
well, dude, I don't be surprised if one of these times I come at you and say, all right, dude, I'm doing this. I'm not going to, I'll call you my coach because you're going to be I'm going to be beholden to you. I'm going to make sure I'm accountable to you. Like, hey, I know you're doing it, and I know if I tell you, I'm going to see you often enough where you're going to call me out on it. I just haven't. I'm not ready yet to commit.
You do all the hard stuff because you do the workout stuff. That's where I think people who, when they first start, eating's a lot, and the meal prep's it's time consuming. But when you spend the time to do it for a day, you have all week of food. Good, you're good. It's the everyday grind on that thing you sit next to you, that treadmill, or the week right here. That's where you're like, okay, I got to walk for 25 minutes every day or 6 days a week at an incline. And it's not long.
I say, be honest, that's my favorite part of the day.
But
I've said that. That's my favorite part of the day because that's where I play Xbox.
Right. See, and you've got it here where you can do that, right? I'm on a Stairmaster at the gym trying to like watch some kind of documentary or something, right? Just to keep my mind going. But yeah, that's for me. I think is that first couple weeks of doing all of it together. And then you're gonna get hungry because you don't eat a lot right now. Like you probably don't eat as much.
No, I eat about one meal, maybe 2 meals a day.
That's what I'm saying, right? You imagine going to 5, and then you're eating.
I can't.
You're eating. I mean, you're probably gonna eat over a pound of food at a time, at 5 times a day. And right now, you're probably maybe eating a pound and a half of food throughout the day.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be an adjustment for you. There's gonna be times when you can't eat. Like you just, I'm done, and they'll tell you, don't eat till you're full, then stop, and then 2.5, 3 hours later, eat again. And eventually it becomes like this whole machine, and your body's like, okay, I know I can get rid of what I don't need because you're going to feed me again.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy.
Well, like I said, I'm not quite, and one of the reasons why I'm not super close to committing to it is because one of the hardest things for me, anytime you create any kind or do any kind of diet change, it's the intermittent schedule in the summer. Because are you leaving town? When you leave town, what do you eat? How do you eat?
I have this problem next week. So next week I'm going to D.C. for work. 3 days, right? It's a really cool experience. I get to go to Capitol Hill. I get to do all this stuff. It's really cool. But I'm like, okay, how am I going to eat? They have a gym in the hotel. I'm good. Solid. I'll figure it out. I can. If they don't have a treadmill, I can go for a run for 25 minutes. I'm good with that. It's the food. So I'm like, okay, how do I pack it? Well, now, dude, I'm literally packing chicken and rice in bags. And that way I can get on the, because you can't have liquid. So, and then I'm hoping to hit a store there and get some egg whites. But the thing is, who I'm going with is all like, they're basically paying for everything. We're flying first class. We're dude, yeah,
man.
both there and back. Like they've got us a hotel room. They're paying for, they're taking us to dinner 2 nights in a row. There's everything's pretty much provided. So I'm like, I know that if I go out to eat, I'm just gonna have to stick to chicken and vegetables or a steak and vegetables. I can't have any play food, which is fine. It's a travel thing, and I'm far enough out where it's not going to hurt too bad. As long as maybe I'll do 35 minutes of cardio a day. Yeah. Because I know I got to adjust a little bit. But it sucks. You have to plan around that whole thing. And, dude, when I went to Flagstaff 2 weeks ago, bro, I literally packed an ice chest full of food for me. Like, that doesn't include anything else. It's literally 30 meals because I was, or not 30 because I was there. It's 18 different meals because I was there for, 3-4 days. And I had 6 meals a day. It sucks, dude.
See, that's the thing that's for me. It's like, okay, so this weekend, I haven't figured out how to make this happen. I want to go and see my brother-in-law play one of his rugby matches out in San Diego. And so I'm thinking, okay, yeah, I'm going to do it. I just got to figure out where to stay because he's the bomb, dude. He'll get me in. I'm not going to worry about tickets for me and the kids. At least I hope not. Mikey, come through, buddy. Fingers crossed. But I am thinking, okay, so if I'm going to commit to this, that's why I haven't done it this week. So I'm like, I don't want to have to try and figure that out there.
Dude, that's the worst part.
That being said, we just this last weekend were in California. We drove back on Monday.
How was traffic?
Dude, it actually wasn't bad at all. I was shocked. In fact, dude, when we were leaving LA Monday. I think we left at 4:30, 5 o'clock at night because Chalet's tournament wasn't done until then. And I was expecting to get some traffic. Didn't hit a single snag.
You left probably too late.
Yeah, maybe.
Which is good. Yeah.
Didn't hit a single snag. We got to, I can't remember what town it was. It was long before Indio. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It was outside of L.A., but not quite to the Inland Empire, what they call it. Logjam for miles getting into L.A. I mean, dude, miles and miles and miles of nobody's moving, absolute logjam.
Going the opposite way.
Yes.
Really?
It was, I remember I took Chalet, I'm like, dude, if that was us, I'd pull the car over and shoot us all. I'm not doing that. Like, that was a super dark comment. Maybe I should bleep that out. But it was so bad and so long. I could not imagine being stuck in that traffic and trying to keep my cool. I couldn't imagine it, dude.
Dude, we got stuck in traffic because Carl made us go do that. The whole reason I went to Sholo and came back on a Sunday was I didn't get stuck in traffic.
And you got stuck in traffic.
And then
Sunday night, hike ever.
Sunday night, Carl, hey, you want to go hike the Jug? And I've always wanted to do it.
It's so awesome.
He was supposed to do it Saturday, and I had a celebration of life, so I knew I wasn't going to be able to. End up not doing it. And I'm like, sure. So we throw it together, and we go. And, dude, that's probably one of the coolest hikes I've ever done.
I freaking love it, dude.
It's amazing. And I have to give a shout-out to both of my girls because, dude, let me tell you, they were good with the entire thing, but that jump
is scary.
End, dude, Lexi was like, I mean, she was in tears, dude. Like Carl basically had to push her in.
Yeah,
I don't blame her. Like it was, and it's because because it's slippery and it's slanted. It ain't like you're just walking off.
Okay, that's the thing. That's the thing that I always tell people. It's not the height of the jump. It's the precarious nature of getting to the ledge and getting your footing underneath you.
Yeah.
And I'm telling this, if you haven't done the hike, it's called the Siloam Jug. It's just outside of Roosevelt Lake. You don't know what we're talking about, but you basically have to trust that the people that were there before you that nailed that rope into the wall did a good enough job so that it's going to hold your weight, and that climbing down on this slippery rock is not going to kill you. It's the whole thing scary.
Well, and full disclosure, if you've even thought about this, do not go unless you go with somebody who knows who's been there before.
Yes.
Because we ran into two girls. They were from Tucson. They're probably mid-20s. I don't really know. dude, they were stuck. They were sitting, waiting for somebody to help them. Like
they had
like,
no idea what
they
to
didn't
do.
know where to go. They were like, "Hey, have you guys done this before?" And Carl's like, "Yeah." Nua was with us. He's like, "Yeah, we've done it." I'm like, "All right." So they literally, she was like, "Can we just tag along?" Sure. Had we not been there, I think they would have got seriously hurt.
Okay,
because it's
And I'll say this is coming from experience. The very first time that I went with nobody. I went by myself. No, I went with, when I say with nobody, I mean nobody that done before. I went with I want to say my nephews. I think that's who I went with. I know it was me and at least one of my nephews and my little brother. That's what it was. We got to that point, had no idea what to do, and turned around and went back out,
which is hard,
very hard. It was not easy to coming back out. But that, because I was like, I don't know what to do from here.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how to get out there. I didn't know anything about it. And then the second time I went is when I went with somebody who actually knew. And then that is when I was like, okay, I can do this from now on.
Yeah. Once you go one time with somebody, you know the ropes. Okay, you got to go down these slides. You have to keep going. You just got, and eventually you get to that stupid rock and you got to jump off.
Yeah, that was the part where we turned around. So I'm like, I don't know, guys. I don't know how to. I don't know what we're supposed to do here. I don't know what's at the bottom of this. Like,
and that is deep. For it is like with that you can't tell from where you're jumping, but like, so. Here's a crazy, like, so I had just gotten a bracelet for ashes for my dad, right? So I was wearing a bracelet. It came off. I had no idea it came off somewhere on that hike. Mm-hmm. I thought it was when I jumped in that place because of you're high up.
Yeah.
But looking at the pictures, I didn't. But I also have a necklace with my mom on it. And dude, somehow my necklace became unclasped. It didn't break. Came unclasped. I lost a weight that I had on there. Like, it was just a thing my kids got me. But what has my mom in it was stuck on my neck, and it was like draped over my shoulder.
Oh, you're so lucky.
It was super weird. It was like my dad was like, "Hey, I'm going to stay." Mom was like, "Heck no, I don't want to be here," you know? And it was kind of funny, but at the same time, I'm like, it's just like, I kept having problems with this bracelet thing, and it finally just came off, and I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have a bracelet with him, and ended up getting something else to go with him. But it was just a weird thing because it didn't break. It became unclasped, which was, I don't know how. You're 20 feet up. Like,
yeah, that is uncommon.
Yeah, like, I mean, like, I thought I just ripped it apart. And it was like, nope, put it right back on. Just clasp it back together. It's good to go. It's not even stretched out. It was super weird.
I got to tell you this. I don't know how many pairs of sunglasses I've lost on that hike.
Dude, so we went down to go see. We had goggles. And, dude, I held my breath, popped my ears, went to keep going. And I'm like, bro, I'm out of air. I went down too far. Like, I still couldn't touch. So I want to go down with one of those, like, emergency airs for scuba and see how much crap's down at the bottom that people have
I guarantee
lost
there's so much. Because, like I said, it is deep.
Yeah.
Because I've gone down there and tried to just say, okay, I'm going to pencil dive this thing and just see if I can touch the bottom. Never gotten close.
No. It is deep.
But I do love that hike. It's so fun.
Oh, I want to go again.
The natural rock slides, you can slide down.
They're so awesome.
It also looked like you guys had a ton of water for this late in the year.
It was really good. So Carl had done some research, and like he was on some page or a hiking thing, and they were like, it's plenty of water. And it was plenty of water.
Oh, yeah. Because I usually would only go if somebody wanted to go. I'm like, I'm only going in April. That's when there's enough runoff from the mountains where you've got enough water. Because I remember one time we went Labor Day week or Memorial Day weekend. Dude, there wasn't much water running. There was water, but because the water was so stagnant, there was so much algae that had grown, and it was slippery, dude. We were sliding all over the place. Oh yeah, just banging your shins on the next rock. I'm like, I'm never doing that late in the summer again. I'm never going that late in the season. But dude, it looked like you guys had way more water than I would have thought.
Plenty of water, and dude, Nua, he's crazy, bro. Like he grew up in Tonga, so he dove in this water that was like, dude, like 2 feet deep.
That's insanity.
He jumped off of a rock into it, but the way he tells us that as a kid, he had to learn, like, that's what you had to do. They used to have competitions of who could dive in the shallowest water. So he's got a way to do it. Like, he didn't dive in like I thought he was going to, but I videoed it just in case something happened.
Just in case
I'm like, I'm doing this, but I feel really bad because I feel like I'm going to have to help him. But no, he just jumped right into this little hole, dude. It was super cool the way he did it. But yeah, it was plenty deep, dude.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that hike. If anybody ever wants to get a shout out, I've always called it the Siloam Jug.
I think on a map it's called the Jug.
The Jug. Okay, so it's just north of the Roosevelt Lake out here in the desert.
And you've got to have a decent car. A car can get there, but it's going to beat you up. The road is very bad. A truck, it took me, you go 10 miles, but it took almost an hour to go 10 miles just because it's slow driving.
It's real rough.
Rocky as heck.
Yeah. But I will also say this. One time, you remember those shoes? They were huge, like 10 years ago. Vibram 5-finger shoes.
The toe shoes. Yeah.
I wore those. Worst mistake ever. I came out, dude. I had blisters all over my feet. All over my feet.
I wore just Brooks. Carl had sandals on.
Every time I've gone since, I've worn my Choco sandals.
Yeah, that's what he wore.
No problems.
Carl wore.
Yeah, Choco sandals, freaking awesome. Never had any problems. So
I didn't have any. Like, I thought I was worried about blisters coming out because you have to hike up there and wet shoes. Dude, I stopped and I washed my shoes out because they get rocky. I took my socks off, rang them out, like washed them all out, put them on. I didn't have one problem with the shoe at all. It was great.
See, for me, it was the hike out with those Vibrams because of, again, wet feet inside of wet shoes, and it was terrible. And I've never had a problem with the Chacos.
Yeah.
So, shout out to you, Chacos. Good job.
Dude, that hike is legit, though.
It's a good time. It is a good time.
But
I'm glad your girls went.
And they were terrified. Like, it was, Allie has a height problem, like scared of heights. So she wanted to go first. Like, she's like, I want to go because I'm going to be the longest, we thought. I'm like, okay. And she jumped herself and was good to go. And then Lexi, dude, she was shaking. I felt bad, but I'm like, honey, we can't go back. Like, there's no other way. And the thing is that ledge is just so deceiving because you can't really see what's below you.
Exactly.
You just have to, it's a leap of faith for lack of better terms, right?
If you've never gone, 100%
it is a leap of faith. You just got to know that it's good to go.
I wish you'd seen Indiana Jones.
She crushed it. I'm so proud of both of those kids, man. It was just cool to see them. Like, it's a good dad moment. Like, and Carl, like, I wish I could have went down to Lexi, but he's just more like, I don't know, like he knows the rock, but he's not scared of falling. And I'm holding onto this rope with him, and he's just able to. He was out literally on the edge, and is like holding her hand. I was like, okay, just let go of the rope. We'll count to 3, and she's holding on for dear life.
Did he jump with her?
No.
Oh,
he just kind of was like, okay, I'm on 3, and she let go of the rope, and it was like 1, 2, and she just kind of pulled her off, and she landed in water fine, came up crying, and it was she was just crying because it was like a whole like experience.
It's over with.
And she
relief.
And I don't think she'll ever do it again because she's like, nope, I'm never going back. But Allie said she'd do it again. I got to go back because I got Ava. I got the little one to go, and I'm like, and Ava's like, I want to jump now, and I'm like, you say that, but it is a scary place to jump, like just visually. But
I remember, so I took my 2 nephews. They had dates. Well, I took my sister and her date. My nephew and their dates for like a day date on like a school dance type. It was like, I don't know what it was. It must have been prom because it's about that time of year. And the one girl, she had a exchange student staying with her, and so she wanted my other nephew to take her. So he takes the exchange student. The exchange student's from Germany. She's never seen mountains like this ever. We do this hike, and to her credit, dude, she was a freaking baller. She did the whole thing, like just went and did it. And when we got to that ledge part, I've never seen somebody fall off that less gracefully in my life. And I said fall, not jump, like fall. She was getting to the edge. Gosh. She got on her butt to try and like scoot to the edge, lost the grip of the rope, just slid. Just gone.
And you're like, oh.
Luckily, there's a huge pool down there.
Yeah,
so
you can't really, as long as you jump out and not over to the left.
Yeah, as long as you're not going left, which is luckily she didn't go left. But it was very much like, oh my gosh, this is going to be a moment.
Like, it was hard. It was so slippery with the way the rock was and whatnot that we had to kind of, like, the girls kind of sat down. That's the crappy part is once you sat down, you can't stand back up. It's too slippery.
Yeah.
The way the crevice is, you put your foot in. So all the girls kind of slid down and just had to jump out. And I was able to kind of like waddle down, and then I just kind of put my hand down and just went for it, right? And it was over. But
I am definitely one of those guys that psychs myself out at the edge of a ledge, just staring there. I'm like, I'm actually going to do this. I'm going to do this.
I was playing middle, man. Carl was on the one end. I was in the middle, just getting them around to that point. So I'd been there long enough where I'd seen it and kept looking and looking. And I was like, okay, I cannot stand here and look at it. So as soon as I got down, I just went. And
that's funny because like for me, I've done it a million times. I still will stand there and be like, oh. That's why when I went skydiving, I kept telling myself, like, nope, don't even do it, man. Just don't even look. Just go. And because if I look at the edge, I'll just sit there and psych myself out and like, no, I can't do this. I'm going to die if I fall. But in reality, it's like, no, you'll be all right. Ain't nothing going to happen.
Wow, that's a heck of a hike, dude. Like anybody who's a hiker that hasn't done that, it's definitely a bucket list hike.
Oh, yeah. Sure. It's one of those places that you don't know about in Arizona. You got to check it out.
And you don't even think, like, when you're in there, you show, like, showing people pictures. They're like, that's in Arizona? I'm like, yeah. Like, it's in the middle of the desert, too, like around a lake. Like, you have no idea. You have to get to it. It's a 2.5-mile hike to even get to that area. And you would never know. And I grew up on Roosevelt Lake, and it's just a run off. Oh, dude,
and that's the other thing about the hike. The hike itself is not terrible.
No.
But it's not great either.
It's just long.
It's long and switchbacks.
Yeah, but they weren't like angled switchbacks. Like I've been on this.
Yeah.
Have you ever? There's a swimming hole at the bottom of the Salt River Canyon, and I've only been one time. My brother knows where it's at, but you have to like. It's on the Sholo side of the bottom, so up as you're climbing up. If you're going from here.
Yeah.
And there's a rail as you make a left turn. Well, there's a gap between a mound and the rail, and if you don't know it, you pass it. But you pull back, there's a parking spots back there. You park, and you walk down these switchbacks, swim across the river, and go back to this hole, and you're cliff jumping into this runoff hole. coming out of that sucks because the switchbacks are steep and you are zigzagging. And dude, I remember my calves being on fire. I was way fat and out of shape. Should not have done that, dude. And it was starting to rain, and it's the summertime where like, dude, if it starts raining there, you've got to get out.
It's not a drizzle.
No, you've got to get out of there. So it was it was nuts, dude. But,
dude, it is funny how like when you're talking about like the confidence of you when you were fat doing a hike like that.
Oh yeah,
because that is the truth for me. It's like if I ever hear of any hike, I'm like, I can do that. Doesn't matter how completely freaking out of shape I am, and I've never done a long distance hike. It's a hike. I can do a hike.
Yeah, hike's fine.
Yeah, I can totally just walking.
I knew they said swimming. I was like, I can swim. I know that. Water does not scare me, so I'm good. But yeah, the hike itself.
Yeah, the hiking is the thing I always have like irrational confidence in until I start doing it, and I'm like, oh yeah. Like the other day, we were doing like it was a young men's group. We were going to hike the Santans. The Santans is not a hard hike, right? It's arduous, I will say, and that's probably a strong
that one little bit.
Yeah, just going up the mountain. Just we are on the backside too, so just going up the mountain. Like the rest of it's kind of relatively uphill, but it's very very slight. But once you get to the part where you actually climb the mountain, anyway, so the original plan was you're going to meet at 6:30 at night, so we could get to the top and you'd be able to get there right around sunset and see the mountain, see the valley. And apparently the plan had changed to 6 o'clock. I never saw that, so I get to the area we're supposed to be meeting, and I'm like, all right, it's about 6:25. Nobody's here. And I'm like, okay, it's not terrible.
They left you.
I look down at the phone. I see the message thread. Oh, we're going to meet at 6. And I'm like, oh, crap. So I book it over to the trailhead, and I literally ran it. And I got to the top as they were getting to the top. But, dude, I was dying at the top. Like, it was only because I'm like, I'm not going to be the last one there. I'm at least going to be there with them. And I got like, apparently it only was like a 20-minute gap between me getting there and them getting there. But, dude, it absolutely killed me. But, again, irrational confidence of me, like, I can totally do this. Dude, I never killed myself.
Yeah, hikes will do that. They creep up on you, dude. I've seen that happen on, like, have you ever done Payastoa Peak or Squaw Peak? Or
no, I actually never have.
So that is a giant Stairmaster for, like, 1.1 miles. It's a step up every step. Like, there's no part where it's flat walking. So it's either a legit step or it's an angle to hill. Like, that's it. Which isn't that bad, but I've been and you see people, they're like, oh, yeah, I'll be good. And you're like, you get halfway up and there's a spot where they overlooks a part of it, and that's where people stop and are like, I'm not going any farther.
Yeah.
Because it's just people think they're in a shape, or at least a shape. And,
they are in shape.
Yeah, and it's just like, hey, like this hiking's tough. Like if you don't do legs or you haven't worked your legs like that, walking on flat surface, anybody does. We do it all day. You put a little bit of incline in it.
Mm-hmm.
And
or stairs.
And you add a little heat. Or some sweating. Like it's definitely an adjustment. So I've seen people. It happens all the time on that mountain, and that mountain's not that crazy.
No,
it's not like Camelback. It's not like Flatiron, which blows my mind. The people I've seen do Flatiron, I'm like, you're the people that get helicoptered out of here. Like, I'm like, how are you doing this? Like, you have one bottle of water, you're with your older lady wife, and your little Yorkie poo the last time I saw him. I'm like, dude, you guys are going to die. You're
obviously thinking of something very specific.
Yeah, I am, because I literally look over and I'm like, I told Carl, because we did it was last year's Memorial Day. I was like, dude, these people, this is who gets helicoptered out. This is the people that come here and they're like, hey, I can make this hike. And they're like, they must have been in their 60s, dude. I'm not kidding. They had a little Yorkie, and they both had one bottle of water.
Oh, yeah. That's insanity.
I'm like, you guys, I carry a gallon with me.
Flatiron is getting to the top of the Superstition Mountains in Apache Junction. It's not a short distance.
No.
And not an easy hike.
It is one of the toughest hikes in the valley.
Yeah, it is very, very difficult. Yeah. It's not one for novices.
Because it is like rock climbing at the end.
Yes,
that's what I'm looking. And they were at the slippery part where, like, if it was raining, you couldn't do. They were just getting to the top of that. And I'm like, you guys realize like, I didn't even think about going up. Going up is almost the easy part. Coming down
is the scary part.
Scary.
That
and
is
like,
the scary
look
part.
at these people. Like, how is your muscular atrophy set into where you do have the strength to hold yourself on a limb while you're trying to step down?
Yeah, that's the part that's very scary. I remember for me, when I was 13 years old, we backpacked that and slept on the top.
Oh, that's
cool. I remember we got up probably about halfway, and one of the guys that was coming with us was like, nope, stopping right here. I'm camping right here. I remember waking up in the morning on the top of it, looking down and seeing him. Like, yo, what's up? And he was, hey, good morning. I just wasn't going any further than that.
But that's okay with knowing your limits, right? Like,
yeah.
It's good to know.
No, in fact, it's important to know your limits instead of trying to do the whole thing and being up there and like, I can't get down. Because now you're looking at a $30,000 helicopter ride.
I told Gianna, I was like, you'll never do the jug. I was like, I know, she knows her limits. I'm like, you would have made me hike out because that jump, she'd have been like, nope, I ain't even going up there.
Yeah.
Like, not even happening. Like, she got nothing to prove to nobody. She's like, nope, I ain't doing it. Like I'm good. She would have made me hike all the way back out or found some way out of that stupid canyon, and I'd have probably died trying because I'm like, yeah, you'll never go. Like, I'll take care of that.
That's actually one of my favorite things about Schley is the fact that she has never been afraid of saying no to something. Even though I will try my best, like, hey, you really would love this hike. It's so fun. The water slides are so awesome, and they're all natural. She's like, no, I'm not doing it. I don't care. It's a hard pass. There is no talking her into it.
Yeah, that's fine. That's the way it should be. You should know. You should be able to say no, right? Confidence, it goes a long way, but you should also be able to say no. You got to have no confidence as well. You got to be able to say no.
You have to have the confidence to know what you can and cannot do.
Yeah.
Okay. And also to know what you should and shouldn't do.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. Like, you want to talk about what I wrote down?
Yes.
Let's segue right
I'm
into
leading
this.
you right into it.
Okay. So first off, this is a disclaimer. I'm not judging anybody here at all. I don't care what people wear. It's not my business to care. I don't give a dang what you wear. But let me tell you, fat girl confidence, I wish I had it. Okay.
It's still funny now. Even though we talked about it earlier, it's still funny.
I'm serious. Like, look, I am a relatively in shape adult male for a 38-year-old. All right. And I would not wear some of the stuff that I see these rather large individuals wear. And they wear it with confidence, bro. They wear it. They smell good when they walk by. You're like, somebody told them they look good, and and they went with it. But you're still like, man, dude, I was worried this shirt was going to be a little too tight or something, and she's rocking that, and her belly's out that much, and she don't give a damn, dude.
She don't care.
And it happens where I see it the worst is at concerts, right? Like, especially country concerts, because everybody feels like every girl needs to be in Daisy Duke shorts and a small top that is revealing in some sense, right? Like, in some way, shape, or form. I feel like it doesn't matter what kind of body type you have. They all wear this like certain image. They want the boots with the short shorts, and they want to be able to show off whatever they've got, right?
That is such a funny thing to me, but it's true.
It's
100% true.
Yeah, it's true, right? All the men look the same, right? They're in boots and Wranglers and T-shirts, right? Or maybe some guys in cutoffs and cowboy hats.
Or a button-up.
Or a button-up, yeah. Like a Luke Combs type button-up,
Yep.
right? Like especially at a Luke Combs concert, which I was at. So it's fine, but when you see, I just wish I had fat girl confidence,
bro,
dude.
Trust me, I
That
didn't write this
terrible,
down.
but I'm just saying.
So the 2 times we've talked about me going to Disney World, right? And now I'm also going to talk about this last weekend when Shalay was at her volleyball tournament. I took my twins, to Universal Studios, and you better believe I had that exact same thought.
It's great.
It was just one of those things where I'm like, I'm self-conscious with what I'm wearing right now. And I'm a pretty confident person in the crap that I wear.
Right.
I feel like I am. But even still, I'm like, man, you were just rocking
I mean,
that.
you're wearing a pink wristband on a watch right now.
Absolutely. In fact,
You know what I'm saying?
when I was there, I was wearing a pink fishing shirt to cover
right.
my neck and head.
So that's what I'm saying. So, like, you're comfortable. You're confident in what you're wearing, but you see these people.
Yeah, and I'm not that confident. I wish I was.
And
if I was, I would be a happier person.
And I'm not saying this isn't universal. This is not fat man confidence. Like,
No.
most men don't do it. Like, a guy is not confident when he'll wear a shirt at the pool.
Literally was just going to say the exact same thing.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I always think of it as the grown-ups line when they're all going to go to the water park, and Adam Sandler's like, "I'm not going to take my shirt off." Kevin James, "I'm not going to take my shirt off either." And they all say that.
Yeah, because it's that. So big guys don't have that. I know when.
Or even average, because I would say even I've battled that sometimes. Like average-sized guys, I think it's one of those things where because we always talk about like the image that women are portrayed, like this is the way they're supposed to look. And I'm going to jump back into this, but I actually have it written up here a little bit earlier, and you probably have no idea what I'm talking about. But it's the same image that men are given. We're supposed to look a certain way that nobody looks like. Like none of us look like that.
Like a Greek god,
right? we don't look like that. We don't look like that. But going back to the confidence thing,
I just think it's not. It's crazy how you can see most guys. We're just. I mean, there's an arrogance to men, right? Especially guys that are jacked. Like, I don't blame them. They've worked really hard. Half of them have probably cheated to get that way, but who cares?
Yeah,
it is what it is.
They still
look
have to
good.
put work in.
Like, yeah, they still walk around. The fitness is a big thing, and I get it, right? But it's like you don't see big guys with the confidence like big girls have. And maybe you should. Maybe you should have that confidence, dude. I don't know. But it's just so crazy how these girls just walk around, and you're like, man, dude, like, and I think smelling good kind of adds to it because
it always does,
right? Like, I mean, if you are a plus size person, right, and you stink, it just makes it worse.
It makes everything worse.
You can at least have pedicured feet and smell good, right? Like, like make yourself. But I'm just saying, it's just unbelievable.
No,
the confidence level, and I just wish I had it. Like, it's complete envy. Like, I just wish I could be like, yeah, I'm gonna walk in through here with like shorts on and no shirt,
not care.
But they're just like, nope, I'm gonna do it and it's usually a group of them, and you're like, yep, all together, and you're like, dude, you guys are wow, like Man, I wish I had that.
It is funny. I don't really know how to like explain it, but it is something. There is a matter of there's an amount of jealousy involved when I look at, because I think the same thing almost like we're again in these theme park lines and just seeing some of the things that people do. I'm like, man, you just don't care, do you? No, you just don't care about anything.
Which you shouldn't, right?
No, but that's the thing. That's the jealousy.
Yeah.
That's the jealousy of like, why do I care?
Dude, it's
because
tough,
like I said, I like to pretend like I have that attitude, like I don't care about it. And that I'd say it's most of the time it's true, but it's certainly there are some times where it is manufactured, where I'm saying it because I don't know what else to say. I don't want to admit my vulnerabilities in that. But it is true. And maybe that's the same on the other side. Maybe from that perspective, from the other side, where they're saying, well, you know what? I'm going to project this confidence, even though I may not have it. If I project it, then others will believe I have it.
Well, I believe it.
But to me, it's like, I guess that's what confidence is.
Yeah. It's a lot of it, faking it till you make it.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Yeah. No. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing.
No, either do I.
Until you make it, it's probably a solid thing to do in a lot of ways.
Confidence goes a long way, right? How you carry yourself, regardless of what you look like and all that. You can be, if you don't take care of yourself and you got low self-esteem and your confidence is in the crapper, you probably aren't as infectious of a person as somebody that may not take care of themselves, but they have a positive outlook on life. They're happy. They wear what they wear. They are who they are, and they accept themselves for they are. And that's an infectious thing, right? It's not like so confidence speaks volumes with people. Like, you can change a lot when you walk into a room and you're confident. I mean, you don't have to look the greatest all the time, as far as you don't have to be the best in shape person in the room to have the most confidence, right?
No, that's 100% the truth. In fact, it's funny you say that, because you think about how many people that look great can't ever see that about themselves.
Oh, dude, in the sport that I'm in, bro, I literally, what's funny is there's a guy I'm friends with. He's in a different neighborhood, but he started this a long time ago, and he's got his pro card. He's legit. And he takes a picture, and he posts it on social media, and he says, body dysmorphia is real. I'll probably take this down later. Dude, he is jacked. 6-pack V, just probably 250, 60 pounds, and he's short.
Wow.
He's like 5'10", but he is just a monster. And he's like, I look like crap. Right? Like, he hates it. And I'm like, dang, dude, I want to look like you when I take my shirt off. And he's over here like, body dysmorphia. It's
like, what's wrong with me?
He's like, why can't I this? I'm like, dude, but
that, like I said, that's 100%. That's that image that we're all supposed to protect. So I want to say this now because I feel like it's the right time to talk about it. Recently, I've watched 2 movies where, as I'm watching it, I'm thinking, like, dude, it's unfair. Well, okay, I'm going to talk about 2 movies. One is Seraphim Falls. Okay, it's an awesome Western. It's not on Netflix anymore. The only reason why I watched it is because I got the email of what's leaving Netflix, and I love Westerns. And it's one of them. It's with Pierce Brosnan and Liam Neeson. It's not like an amazing movie, but if you like Westerns, it's fun. It's a cool movie.
Like older Western?
2007, 2006.
Okay,
so not super old, but definitely not brand new. Okay, and I don't know if you would believe this. I have never seen Moneyball. I just recently watched Moneyball. I
still haven't seen it.
Well, yeah, but I'm a baseball fan. I thought
but I've seen Trouble with the Curve.
Oh, you have?
Oh, yeah. One of my favorite movies, actually.
Really?
Dude, Clint Eastwood's just a boss, dude. And then Justin Timberlake kills it in that, right? Like,
it's so funny to hear that.
It is, but he does a good job of playing the role.
I'm not a fan of JT.
That's fine. You don't have to be. He's
although
beautiful. I'd let him sing until I took my pants off, dude.
I don't. But when I say that I'm not a fan of him, I have to make it clear. It's kind of the same way where I talk about Luka. I do not dismiss their talent. It is obvious and it is real. I just don't happen to like it very much. Okay.
Yeah, which is fine.
Anyway, so as I'm watching these 2 movies, I'm talking to Chalet, and I'm like, you know what is really unfair about Pierce Brosnan? And I thought the same thing but specifically I was telling her about Pierce Brosnan. I was like, I think the same thing about Brad Pitt. It is unfair that someone should be that handsome. It's completely ridiculous that this guy got all those looks. The hair, the height, the gorgeous face. And Pierce Brosnan's not exactly a guy known for like having a chiseled body either, right?
No.
Guy played James Bond, but he wasn't known for that. And then let's talk about Brad Pitt. Exact same thing. Now he's also known for working hard and having a chiseled body. Yeah, but not tall. But he's tall enough, right? Tall. He's not Tom Cruise, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But when I look at that, I'm like, man, how freaking unfair is that? Like, I'm watching this guy on screen as a heterosexual male saying, that guy's the most handsome person I've ever seen in my life. And that's the image that I'm supposed to project.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to live up to those things.
No, you're not.
But that's the thing, is I am.
Right.
Yeah. But going back to the whole,
Yep.
how is it fair that somebody should be that handsome?
Yeah, that's tough. Those are two good. Those are two solid pulls. Those are good looking dudes, man.
I know there's other ones. I mean, I think about like Chris Hemsworth.
Oh
right?
yeah, Thor.
But his is also like because he works in like an insane amount to get that body, right? That he doesn't get that naturally. That's not happening naturally. But I just think about like again, Pierce Brosnan and Brad Pitt, great examples. Their faces are ridiculous. Like you shouldn't look that good. Yes. The eyes, and again, I sound like I'm over here. Pride Month, baby. I'm totally drooling. But it's not that I'm drooling because of that. It's because I'm like, dude, maybe is this the way women think when they see Sandra Bullock on screen?
Oh, probably. Dude.
Right?
She's so hot.
Yeah, it's things like
maybe
that.
Maybe they do. Like, yeah, that's what I got to live up to.
Yeah.
I don't know. But then you see these girls that are, fat girl confidence. They're like, no, I don't care. Like,
yeah, I guess. And that's where I don't have it. I don't have that kind of confidence because I do look at those guys and think, man, I don't look like that at all. Like, I don't look anything like that.
Well, I mean, your body could look like that. It just would take work.
Yeah,
you're capable of looking like that in the body. Face is different, right? You are who you are.
Hairline is what
Actually,
it is.
Today's world, you could surgically fix a lot.
That's true.
Have you seen that show Botched on TV?
Oh, I've heard about it. Chalet watched it a little.
Bro, it is so mesmerizing because these people want to change so much about themselves, dude. It's like, and then they get all these botched cases because people will go to a third world country and say they want to look like Barbie, and then they come back and you're like, okay, you've spent $200,000 on your face.
Yeah, that's the thing that's like just astonishing.
Oh yeah, but that show, dude. That's what I'm saying. But you could, so technically, they could look at Brad Pitt, take your face, jawline, and be like, okay, we're gonna shave away some of your jaw here.
Dude, just the thought of all that stuff.
But that's what they do, and these people, they take this 6-8 weeks of just pain, and all of a sudden they come out, and now they've got a jawline like Brad Pitt. I bet you that's a procedure, bro. A Pitt jawline is probably a thing.
I'm sure it is.
Like, you know
I'm sure it is. Anyway, I just want to give those guys their metaphorical flowers for being such handsome men. But also at the same time going down that road of we have these images that we're all told that we're supposed to look like. Nobody looks like that. There's a reason why these guys are in more than one movie, right?
Right.
Because nobody looks like that.
Yeah, they got it going on.
I'll also say this. I think Pierce Brosnan is the best James Bond.
I don't know. I like Daniel Craig a lot.
I don't like him. And it's not that I don't think he's a good actor. It's that I don't think he's James Bond.
I don't know. I guess probably my thing is because that's when I started really getting into James Bond was like Casino Royale and his roles.
You didn't watch GoldenEye?
I mean, I remember GoldenEye, but I was younger, and most of my GoldenEye memory is Nintendo 64. Yeah, So I knew that GoldenEye was good, but it just when I really got into like for that short phase of actually giving a dang about 007, it was Daniel Craig.
Yeah, and that makes sense. For me, my thing about it is one. The movies for Pierce Brosnan were probably the weakest outside of GoldenEye. GoldenEye was freaking awesome.
Yeah.
The movies for Daniel Craig, much stronger movies. I think he was a far less James Bond.
That's fair.
Okay. Well, my son just walked in and put his hand on my shoulder, which means he has something to say to me. So we're going to take a real quick break here that none of you guys listening are even going to notice happen. My reasoning for saying James Bond is the better one, or Pierce Brosnan's best James Bond, is when I think of James Bond, I think of suave, good-looking, kind of a little bit, smarmy and joking. Daniel Craig was none of that.
No, and Pierce Brosnan's tall, dark, and handsome.
Yep,
like he fits the three. I get it. I'm not disagreeing. For me, when I think of 007, and it's just Casino Royale was one of my favorites.
Oh no, you see, that's the thing. His movies, much stronger movies. GoldenEye still is awesome though. You got to watch GoldenEye again.
I'll have to. It's just been forever.
It has been. I mean, it's 1995 when that movie came out.
Oh, I was 9.
Yeah, we were 9, dude. I watched it because my mom loves James Bond. That was like the movies we watched. Cool. We watched a lot of James Bond movies back in the day. But
that's funny.
Yeah, that guy I think is the best one. So one last thing before we get into Draymond Green and the crap that he wants to talk about, and Bronny James, only because we have to talk about those things because of the market we are in right now. But I wanted to talk about the differences that I noticed in having gone to theme parks in both California and Florida within a month of each other. I told you my experience in Disney World.
Knee brace heavy.
Knee brace heavy. Yes. Knee braces and motorized carts for those that could not walk for themselves, right? I didn't notice really any of that in California.
Really?
Like almost none of it. And I was on the lookout for it because of what happened in Florida.
Yeah.
And my wonder is like, is that a California thing and a Florida thing? Or it's also possibly this is something that I thought about today. In Universal Studios in Hollywood, they have an upper lot and a lower lot. And you have to take a series of 4 escalators to get down to the lower and up to the top. There's not an elevator that I could find anywhere to do that. So my thought was, well, maybe the reason why that's the case at Universal specifically is because it is not heavy accessible. Right? Like, you can't just be like, all right, I can go anywhere I want.
Because you're not comparing Disneyland and Disney World. You're comparing Universal Studios and Disney World.
Right.
That could be it.
It's really just like theme park to theme park. Because even when we gone to Universal Studios Orlando, I've noticed a lot of heavy people. But that's flat. It's a pretty flat place in Orlando. So I just wonder, I'm like, is that a health difference because of the culture difference in California? Because I'll also say this, dude, if you want to find a healthy place to eat, heck of a lot of options in California. They're pricey.
Yeah.
Freaking holy crap, are they pricey? There's a lot of options. There's a lot of them.
Well, and I wonder if it's that like West Coast image is different. I've never been on the East Coast. Like, I guess I'm going to DC for the first time, so I'll get to experience some of that, I think. But that West Coast image is very platinum blonde, beach guy, like in shape, health, fitness is more. I'm not saying they're all like that. I'm just saying they're
predominant.
Yeah, like it's that's kind of like what people kind of do, right? Maybe it's different in Florida that way. I don't know. They're more chill maybe, and they don't give a dang.
I've also heard the comparison like a 10 in California is a manufacturer 10, right? Meaning that person's had a lot of work done. That's definitely not the color of their hair.
Not natty.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of gear over there versus like a California, like a Mississippi 10, which is like they're definitely not the same person, but yeah, that person right there looks real. Like that's a real hair color. Like that's a real body right there.
That's a real woman right there.
That's a real woman. So like I know that there's a differences there, but it was just something that I don't really know that I have a conclusion to make. It just was something that I noticed and we went to Universal 2 days. So it wasn't just on that one day.
Yeah.
So the 2 days that we were there, I did notice it. And then one thing I also noticed, and this, oh my gosh, you know how you can get around a group of teenagers and no one has ever told these guys anything about deodorant. It has never been mentioned. I don't know if it's like a cultural thing or what. But, dude, me and the twins, we got on the Mummy ride. You know the movie The Mummy, okay?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Awesome ride. It's one of the funnest rides there. It's
really?
like a true roller coaster. And it's like kind of like Space Mountain. It's all dark.
Oh,
you don't see anything.
Cool, yeah.
You're just going and it shoots you places. You have no idea where you're going. But, dude, I could not enjoy it because my nose was literally stinging from the 8 teenagers on the same cart as us who had never heard of deodorant.
I hate, dude. Dead body smells. All this is fine.
BO
is the worst.
Oh, dude,
it is just
worst.
so bad, and I'm like, oh man, dude.
Because it's 100% controllable.
Yeah. Well, yes and no. For the most part, I actually know a guy who can't wear deodorant. He's allergic to everything.
Any of it.
Yeah, and he always had the smell. But it's like, dude, you kind of had that point, like, what's he supposed to do?
Yeah.
And he's married, kids, like, his wife just understands, right? I guess she's good with it. She'd have to be, but no, he couldn't wear deodorant. He was not.
Any kind. Huh?
Nope.
Because I'll say this, it was up until last year that I realized that I was allergic to deodorant. So really? I had to switch the style that I would use. So it's like
aluminum free now?
Aluminum free and something else free. I can't remember what it was. Because I just kept getting these massive, like, stinging rashes, specifically in the summertime when I would actually sweat a lot.
Yeah.
Dude, and it was so bad. I remember going to, like, why can't I think of the word of a doctor who does skin? Dermatologist. I hate it when that happens. I don't remember some random basketball player's name tonight. Anyway,
that's normal.
Yeah. Anyway, so and I remember going to him. I was asking him, like, hey, so what's the problem? He's like, I don't really know what this is. This is kind of interesting. So I just switched. I just stopped using it and then switched to a different deodorant. Haven't had the problem since.
What kind of deodorant do you use?
It's still Old Spice, but they have a specific, like, I can't remember what it's called.
Are they white?
Natural blend. Yes, it's a white.
Yeah,
yes.
I wear those ones all the time.
Awesome,
now.
Huh?
I moved to aluminum free with them for a while. Old Spice is the only deodorant I can wear. Like, don't wear Speed Stick. I don't wear Degree. I don't wear any of that crap because it doesn't work for me.
Yep.
Old Spice, and maybe it's because my dad wore that, so I just started that way. But dude, but I like this They're almost like girly, smelly powder ones, but I don't care.
Don't even care.
I don't want to stink.
I just don't want to stink.
It smells good. I particularly like the coconut lavender one, dude.
I can't remember the one that I'm wearing now.
I like it. And my kids are always like, "Dad, you smell good." I'm like, "It's just my deodorant. Like it's just a
100%,
it's like
exactly.
it's not a pure sport one, right? Like they used to have." But I don't care. Like I'm like, I want to just smell good because they do. They have wilderness ones or some of those other things.
The one I used to always wear was Aqua Reef.
Yeah, Aqua Reef. Yeah, absolutely. And then you had to move into the aluminum free section, and then that white. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I think it's something.
Whatever it is, I can say I like it. Never had any issues with it since. I switched. I say it was last year. It was probably about 18 months ago, right? And so all of last summer without it, never had a single problem with any of the rash stuff under the armpits or anything like that. So
the only issue I have with it is I hate when you put a shirt on, like a black shirt.
Yes,
you have to put a shirt on a certain way.
Or you have to put it on first.
Yeah, and then
go up underneath it.
Yeah, just because it'll leave the white marks on the
all
shirt.
over.
And there's nothing you can do about it once it's on that shirt. There's
because it's
going
to be there the rest of the time you're wearing that shirt. But anyway, so the reason why I'm bringing that up, because I remember I actually forwarded you a story. Apparently a bunch of guys got kicked off a flight because of BO. Excessive BO. And I want to be like, to those guys that filed the lawsuit, listen, race had nothing to do with it. Nobody wants to be around people that stink.
So,
especially in an encased metal tube for hours of circulated air.
Imagine this. So, like in a training at work, they send you to back east to a place where you got to live in a dorm, and these people flying from all over the country. It's a leadership training, right? 10 weeks. Thing is when we talk about all over the world, we're talking America, we're talking second world countries, and we're also talking third world countries. So there's a chance you could get a roommate who's from a third world country in a leadership position there, some sort of politician. Whatever, right?
Right.
So one of the times I went, the guy was telling me that the guy that he had known, so it was a friend of a friend, was with somebody from a third world country who didn't have they did not have deodorant. Okay?
I've never even heard of it.
Never even heard of it. It's not for them. They don't wear it. So he had to share a room with them because you bunk with somebody. Dude, he said it was so bad that on the weekends he would pay for a hotel room just to get away. And
the thing that gets my...
But it's because it's BO, bro. Everybody can't. And I know that we're spoiled in America. I get it.
We are.
I totally get it. But I'm going to stay spoiled.
I'm not making adjustments.
No, I'm good.
I'm not going that natural.
No.
But the other thing, the question that I really ask is like, in those places, do they really not smell it anymore?
I don't think they do. I think it's not anymore. It's just
you just kind of go nose blind to it.
You probably just like a normal thing. It's probably like, you know how like if you are in a house, like right at your house, right?
My house
Chili's making bread or something, right? You've been here all day. You can smell the bread, but then it goes away. When I walk in the door, I'm like, bro, someone's cooking bread. Like it smells. It's got to be the same idea, right? It's just BO. Yes. You're just used to it. Like you just don't think about it.
What is it? The Febreze commercials that always talk about being nose blind. Like, hey, this is what it. And so it has to be that.
It has to be.
It has to be. But dude, I'm telling you, when those kids were on that ride with me, I was getting nauseated.
What'd you tell them? Hey, bro, you guys need deodorant.
I wasn't going to tell them.
You need to tell them. What if they don't know? What if they all don't have any dad around or
I can tell you right now.
What kind of kids were they? Were they like? Did they look like they were like?
I will tell you right now. It looked very cultural as to why they stunk so bad, and that's why I wasn't going to say anything because what are they going to do about it? This is clearly their cultural thing. But oh my gosh, dude, it was one of those things where I'm like, I am anywhere they're going, we're going the opposite direction. Not following that group.
BO is just one of those smells, dude. It just doesn't.
It was like 8 to 10 teenagers. Yeah, dude, it was so rough. But anyway, so that was the extent of which I wanted to talk about Universal Studios versus California.
Never been to there,
Florida.
I've always wanted to go, but I've never been there.
It's fine. Right, so
is it expensive?
No, not expensive Disneyland.
Not like
expensive.
no. It's not comparable.
Like for example, we got annual passes for us and the twins, right? Because they're old enough to go, they can ride all the rides. The annual pass is less than a single day at Disneyland.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's not bad at all.
No.
Just driving over there is the worst part.
That is the worst part. So when we went, that's why we went twice. It's like, hey, you got to use these things. So the one thing is making sure you make the money worth it. Like you have to get down there to do it.
Do all the rides and do it all. That's like anywhere you go anymore.
Well, not only that, but like also making sure you go more than once.
Oh, because you're going to pay the annual pass.
If you're going to do the annual pass, make sure you get there multiple times in that year.
Yeah.
And so far, we've already made our money's worth it. We've been 3 times this year since we got it. So it's like, it's worth it if we go again. Awesome. If not, whatever.
I really want to go to Six Flags so bad.
Dude,
kids just don't want to go. Like,
see, my kids aren't old enough to do Six Flags yet.
How tall do you have to be to ride all the
I want to say like the tallest one you have to be is like 54 inches.
So Ava could probably go. She's getting there. because I think she'd be down. She loves all that stuff. When we took her on Guardians of the Galaxy, that one, the free fall thing in California Adventure, I was a little worried because that's Credit Coaster's cool,
drop.
but that is a drop of all.
Yeah.
Dude, she was all about it, dude. Like, had a blast. Was not holding on to me, scared for nothing. The only reason she was holding on is because, that lifts you up and stuff, just to make sure she didn't go anywhere. But so I would love to go to Six. I seriously haven't been in almost over 20 years.
Yeah, dude, I want to go. But for me, when we went to Universal Studios, you had to be at least 48. Kempsey's not 48.
Yeah.
She's not 48. So we had to do her hair up so that anytime she'd go check, like, oh, yep, she passes, put it up. So, like, that was... So I had to wait a while for her. But, dude, the minute we're all able to go to Six Flags, I'm stoked. I love...
Can I just tag along?
Yeah, come with us, man. You're invited.
I just want to tag along. I'm like, I just want to go. I love roller coasters.
Dude, I love roller coasters. I love just they're so exciting. Like we talked about Goliath, dude. That drop. You just feel it everywhere. Oh, dude.
And that's something that you have to experience as a kid. I think waiting until you're an adult just isn't as fun. It's still fun for us, but I'm like, I want to get my kids there. But I know we're going to do soccer tournament in California. Yeah. With at least one, if not both, the kids. And I'm like, maybe we'll squeeze up there. Maybe we'll go a day early and just squeeze up there and just go spend a day. Because it's not expensive. I haven't looked, but I want
to say it's $50.
Yeah, it's probably $50-$70 a person, which I'm good with because it's not $200 and something, right? Exactly. A person. So I'm like, all right, cool. We'll go spend a day there, eat some food, and just have some fun.
Dude, so one of the ride that we did probably 10 times, maybe more times. The one thing that does kind of suck about Universal Hollywood is because the upper and lower lot. The lower lot has got Jurassic World, right? Okay. Which Benton, my son's, all about. The upper lot has got the Harry Potter world, which my daughter is all about. So, dude, we went up and down those escalators probably 20 times. But anyway, so when we went on that Jurassic World ride, it is a good themed ride. The theme of it is way better in California than it is in Florida. Florida is like, dude, it's almost like a third-rate circus.
Like an afterthought?
Yeah, it's like nothing's working. None of the animatronics are there. Like, the video itself is kind of janky. Like, the whole thing's kind of like, okay, whatever. Just get me to the drop. That's what we're here for. The one in California is like, hey, man, this is all well done. The animatronics are working. It's an updated video. Like, it's working pretty good. Anyway, but, dude, every time we get to that drop, Benson has just got the biggest grin on his face, because they take a picture right as you're dropping. Right as they my daughter, she's got like the scaredest look on her face, and I've always got my hand on her hip to hold her down because, dude, I know she's just gonna levitate with that drop. Yep. But it is so fun. Oh, I love that feeling. Okay, so we're gonna take a hard right turn, completely off the topic. But I mentioned earlier that I wanted to talk about this clip from Draymond Green, who is a power forward for the Golden State Warriors. Very outspoken, if you don't know who he is. And also, I will make sure that it is clear, incredibly well paid. He is an incredibly well paid player. He's
arguably one of the more dirtier players in the league.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Which is relevant for what we're going to talk about.
Very relevant. Anyway, so it's I think it's about 45 seconds, so just listen to it.
The fines, to me, don't make sense. When you talk about as hard as we work to accumulate wealth, coming from situations that most people never make it out, and then you get fined the way we get fined, it's actually not set up for us to be wealthy after we're done playing. This job is not set up the way we're taxed.
Oh, California?
The way we're taxed, the way we're fined, and you hear about all these programs like this program, this program, that is to cover everybody. This program is to teach this guy this. But if I do something wrong, I lose $100,000. Man, it took my mom 4 years when I was growing up to make $100,000. And I lose that in the night because, what? The referee got mad at me, and he didn't like what I said to him. So I lose $5,000 like that, like on a tech.
Okay. All of those things he said. One, he's talking to Shaq. This is on Shaq's podcast called The Big Podcast. So Draymond's talking to Shaq. And everything he said, I just want to be like, Draymond, have you forgotten where you come from? Do you have any recollection of where you come from? You talked about how your mom made $25,000 a year. You, sir, are making in excess of $18 million a year and have been doing so for a while now. You just signed an extension last offseason. You are well paid. Well paid. Okay? And every single time, all those fines that you're talking about, the very first thing he said is the fine system is a problem. all of those fines are because of things that you did that were completely within your control.
And that's the thing. They're avoidable. All that money that we're being fined for, they're avoidable. Dude, I mean, you play basketball for a living.
Yes.
You don't like the call? Shut up and turn around and go play. Like, I get it. In the ref system, dude, I mean, it's not even on the list, but if we want to dive down the terrible umpiring that's been going on lately, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like Angel Hernandez finally retired. Thank goodness. Yeah. But it doesn't matter. Like, there are bad refs, and I get it. But at the end of the day, you're getting paid $18 million to throw a ball into a hoop, and people are watching you do it. Dude, if you don't want to get fined, don't do stupid stuff. Like,
yes.
I get emotion. I'm a player. I love competitiveness. I get it. But I've never seen a player argue with a ref and the call change.
It never happens.
So just suck it up and take the L, bro. Like, it's not fun. You can deal with it afterwards. But if you don't want to be fined, if you don't want to lose $5,000 or $100,000, then don't bring it upon yourself to lose it. Maybe don't play so dirty, or maybe just, okay, shoot, all right, that's a loss. I took that one. That's my fault. But no, accountability, none there. And then he talks about taxes. Bro, get in line. Like, we're all taxed. Like, I don't know what to tell you. You're not set up to be successful. Let me tell you right now. You give me $18 million for 1 year, I will
pay the taxes.
I won't be quitting my job forever, but I tell you what, I won't have any problems.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I probably for a long time, if ever again, because I would be set up. I would set it up for that. It's not our fault. You spend your monies on hooker and blow, bro. That's what it is. Like, they blow their money on dumb stuff at strip clubs or all these things, and they're talking about, well, I lost $100,000 on a fine, bro. How much money have you blown in a strip club,
dude? Hey,
throwing in the air?
Have you ever seen the ESPN 30 for 30? It's called Broke.
No,
it's fantastic. It's about how insanely highly paid athletes go broke.
Well, and it's because they don't have any foundation, dude. They become these big baller players out of high school. Now, especially with the NIL money in the college, it's out of control. They don't get taught how to manage money. They don't get taught any of that, how taxes work or anything. So what do? They just start blowing through money. There's one guy, he was just talking about how he's been different than everybody else because it's Marshawn Lynch. He's never used a dime of his salary for living. Mm-hmm. He's got it stored away, saved up, so he'll never have to work again, family to work again. He uses his endorsement money to live on.
It was the same thing with Rob Gronkowski. He did the exact same thing. He didn't touch any of his salary. It was only that he only lived off of endorsement money.
And that's what
he still does.
He's still playing smart with it, right? Like, so these guys that are blowing money, you want me to feel sorry for you, bro? I don't feel sorry for you. I don't care how much you get fined. You play a game. I will trade you spots right now to make half of what you're making.
Oh, yes. See,
because everything you do is paid for. Everything you do.
The whole concept and idea that he's saying that it's not built up for them to be wealthy and build generational wealth. It is, again, it's one of those things where I'm like, do you not remember where you came from? Dude, the majority of the planet cannot conceptualize $18 million in a lifetime.
Yeah, let alone in a 1 year.
Single calendar year. And less than that, because you get paid from season to season. Like, the idea that you're saying that you're not set up for wealth, it's like, dude, you could take care of generations of your children based off of 1 year of your salary. Now, yeah, guess what? You get taxed because you make an insane amount of money.
Because you're an American.
And you live in California. Guess what? That's where you... That's not exactly your choice, because that's the team that...
Do you have to live there if you could just fly in every day?
Yeah, but you don't have to live there. But the thing is, you still have to pay the taxes because you work there.
Oh,
right?
because the tax income.
Right.
Yeah.
So the way the taxes are set up, and if I remember right, you are taxed in every place that you play. So
what their tax rate is when you
tax rates for that day, for that game, your compensation is taxed at that rate. Like, if you go to Toronto, you're paying Canada taxes. Like, that's what you're doing. But it's still the same thing. Like, think about it. You are making so much money that, again, conceptualize the idea of making $18 million in 1 year. 1 year. Pay those taxes and invest and live off the interest, bro.
Yeah, that's the thing. When was the last time Draymond Green read a book about how to be wealthy? What to do? Tips from Dave Ramsey. Mm-hmm. You're not doing anything to educate yourself. You just want somebody to hand you the wealth for life, bro. Like, you play basketball, take it upon yourself. You've got, the way I look at it, how many months are off season? You should be a student of wealth. Like, if you want to get wealthy, you've got nothing else to do. You're a guy that doesn't have to work from, let's say your team doesn't make the playoffs. So from May to November, that's when your season starts. So you start before that. Maybe when's preseason start? October? September?
It starts in, we'll say the actual preseason starts in September. Season starts in October. 5th
to 9, right? You've got 4 months. 4 months to be a student on wealth. To say, hey, I'm going to make $18 million this next year. How much money can I play with? How much money can I put away? What's my expenses going to be? All this kind of stuff. But no, what do? These are the same dudes that got a $5 million necklace on. Like,
Yeah.
that's your problem, bro. Like, you're putting all your money in somewhere else. Like, I have no sympathy for this idiot.
You cannot
Nothing.
blame the system for
No.
because here, listen to this. This is somebody's tweet. It's John Jankowski TV. This is his tweet. I'm not saying X post. I'm saying tweet. Draymond Green's career earnings, and this was as of May 24th, 2024. Career earnings are around $150 million.
And he's not set up for wealth.
His career earnings or career fines, again, fines are because of things he
has
did.
done. Yeah.
He did this. Nobody did this to him. He did this. $3 million. So his career earnings are $147 million. Keep in mind, I want to say his last offseason, he signed a 4-year, $100 million contract extension.
That's 2%, right? I'm doing my math right. 150 million. 1% would be 1.5 million. He's fined 3 million, which would be 2%.
Just about, yeah.
2%. You're complaining to me about being fined 2% of the money you've earned?
It's impossible for me to have any sympathy for him. It's like, listen, again, if it came from, actually, no, honestly, I can't think of anybody because the professional sports is set up, unless you are a minor league baseball player, professional sports is set up to take care of you as long as you take care of the money they give you.
And they give you a lot.
Now, there is an argument that can be made that maybe professional athletes deserve more of the cut because they are the show, right? Let's say all of them stop working. What are the owners going to do? They're not going to play.
Yeah, but
we don't give a crap. But that's not the argument he's
No.
making. And that's the problem I have with it. It's like, dude, you are so set up for, you're set up not just for building wealth, you're set up for building generational wealth. Like Draymond Green's grandkids may not ever have to work because of the wealth that you have attained. They can live a perfect middle-class life for generations based on the money that you have earned as long as it is taken care of correctly.
Yeah, and he's complaining that it's not because he's done his. It makes
because
me so
he can't
mad.
shut his mouth. He can't stop putting players in chokeholds. He can't not punch a teammate in the face. Like he can't not kick LeBron James in the balls, which he's done. I think he's done 3 times that season. Not just LeBron James, but also Steven Adams. He can't not step on who's the center for the. And this is the moment where my mind blanks. The center for the Sacramento Kings. His dad played. Arvydas Sabonis was his dad. Domantas Sabonis. He can't not step on him in a playoff series. It's like, dude, all of these things are your things.
All of it's controllable.
All of it.
All of it.
Now, one thing I will say is sometimes you do wonder how certain players, Luka Doncic, can get away with constantly complaining to the refs up and down the court and somehow not get a technical foul.
Because I think it's the approach. Like, I think, I bet you know what
Yeah.
it is I would imagine that Luka is not, like, he's frustrated. He's probably yelling at the refs. But there's a difference in yelling yelling to the ref and yelling at the ref.
Yeah.
And I think that's where maybe Draymond gets a little bit out of control because he makes it personal.
Well, I was going to say, it's not that Luka doesn't get technical fouls. He does.
Yeah.
He just doesn't get them at the same rate as Draymond. And it probably has a lot to do with, like you're saying, delivery, right? Maybe specific words that are being used. This is according to December 2023 on ESPN.com. Right now, Draymond Green is the only player in the league to have more than 20 technical fouls over the past 5 years with a career total of 147.
Which are all things that are for, let's just say you take out 10% for just bull crap, right? Because the refs are dumb.
Yeah, 15 fouls. 15
so you take out
techs.
15 of them, right? So you had 130 techs that you've earned rightfully.
Yeah.
What do you expect, dude?
Yeah.
Because you got guys that go, not everybody goes their whole career without a technical. If you're playing enough, you're going to get
You're
it.
gonna
Like, it's
get
going to
one.
happen.
You're gonna get
Just
one.
because it's emotional.
And say Devin Booker, who's not known for being loud, he's always in the top of the league of technical fouls because of the way he will do certain things. Like you may not hear it from the stands, you may not see it on his face, but dude, that guy's a killer when it comes to the way he talks. So it'll happen. You're
Right.
going to have it, especially in the heat of competition.
And you're talking about guys like Dennis Rodman. Draymond Green has more than Dennis Rodman ever did.
Yeah.
Like, that shows you how bad of a player you are. Dennis Rodman took people's heads off.
But he's also had half as many as Rasheed Wallace did.
Right.
But Rasheed Wallace was,
Right.
that guy was something else.
Yeah, no joke, dude.
But anyway, when I saw that clip and I sent it to you on Instagram, we have to talk about this because I find that to be just so out of touch, so freaking out there where it's like, dude, Draymond, you are so set up for wealth. You are the definition of set up for wealth. If you were to look at Draymond Green's stat sheet on a box score of any game, he will never blow you away because most of what Draymond does isn't on the box score. It's not ever going to be because he's a great defender. He's a good connector. He's just not the point guard or the scorer.
No,
but
not
anyway,
at all.
so his box score never shows you his actual true worth. But, dude, they are paying you your worth. You are one of the more highly compensated players in the league. You are so set up. And complaining about the fines, bro, that's on you. All you have to do is not kick people.
It's all about your own accountability, bro. Just don't be a dick. Yeah. Excuse the words, but that's it.
It's 100% the truth.
Yeah,
that's why you are fined.
Yeah, like, dude, just be mad. You can be mad, but why are you, like, when you cheap shot somebody because you're mad? I think fines should be worse, and that's why they're so bad.
I'm with you on that one
because that's why they're so bad, and that's why I think he tries to minimize his actions. Mm-hmm. They're $100,000 because of what you're doing. They're trying to prevent other people because most people will say, "Dang, I don't want to lose $100,000 for kicking a dude, like barely stepping on somebody. I'm going to try not to do that." And there is what he's done in that stepping on incident versus somebody accidentally stepping on somebody and tripping. And you know what's funny is it's the did you see what play was it, dude? It was they didn't call it a flagrant one, and it was when it was I can't remember what game. It was just one of the playoff games, but they took like a open palm to the face. It was the Pacers game, Pacers and Celtics. Okay. Who's the little
TJ McConnell.
McConnell. He took one to the face from one of the Celtics players. It looks really dirty when you slow it all down. It looks like there's no way he's going for the ball. But what it is for me is it's his reaction afterwards. He immediately is like, oh, and he goes right up to him like, dude, it was just like, you can tell there's a difference. And when Draymond Green steps on him and he just keeps walking away, bro, don't act like you didn't do it on purpose. Like, we all know you did. That's why you're getting fined $100,000. It makes it obvious.
Yeah.
So I don't feel sorry. I think it should be worse. Like, dude, you want to set a precedent, you got to hit him where it hurts, and everybody hurts in their wallet.
See, the thing that got me is I hated when he got the indefinite suspension this season. I think it ended up being like 17 games. I don't remember exactly how long. It was not that long. And I was like, dude, this was after he punched Yusuf Nurkic in the face. If you look at the replay, it looks like he didn't punch him. Dude, nobody makes that natural movement. Yeah. Nobody naturally does what you just did without trying to connect with somebody. And that's, to me, that's the part that's dirty about it, is it's never overt. It's always in the guise of it could possibly look like it's a mistake. But it's like, dude, nobody does that. Yeah. Nobody's natural movement leads them to do what you just did. Move. Exactly. Yeah. And the reason why he gets fined so much and suspended so much is because you are the worst in the league at this.
And everybody knows it.
Everybody knows it. Your reputation precedes you.
Yeah, you built that.
Yeah, exactly. And that's on you.
Yeah.
That's 100% on you. So in the end, we're going to try and wrap this up within the next 10 minutes. I just had to quickly say this about Bronny James. If anybody's heard this, the Suns are one of only two teams that I know of that are confirmed to give LeBron James' son, Bronny James, a workout pre-draft. And if you don't know about this, Bronny is not considered at all a top prospect in this year's NBA draft. Not even close. He is considered an end of the second round prospect. There are 60 picks in the NBA draft. He right now is ranked 54th. So that means end of the second round. And if you were to ask a lot of people, one of the main reasons why he's considered to be the 54th has much more to do with his heritage, his father, than it does to anything he's done on the court. And the reason why is because he started last season, if you remember, he had a heart attack.
Yeah, he did.
At a very young age. What is he, 18, 19 years old?
Super young.
And so he didn't get to play in much of the college season. When he did, he was played sparingly. So you can't look at his college career and project anything at all towards the future, because if you look at his college stats, they were nothing. It was like 5 points and 2 rebounds, like just nothing. And he's also not even close to the size of his dad. He would he come in at 6'1.5" at the combine?
Yeah, when they had him listed at like 6 something.
He's 6'4".
Yeah,
everything's always listed at 6'4". He's not close to that.
Not even close.
And his dad is every bit of 6'8". Like his dad is a monstrosity. Okay, so Bronny's not as big as his dad. But what he is apparently he's very quick, very explosive athlete. Was a 42-inch vert. Like,
yeah, that was impressive.
He is an explosive athlete. He's definitely got that part of him, and so he's got a pretty accurate 3-point shot. One of the comments I saw when they were showing him take his shots was, guys, what was it? The guy's release time is 3 business days. It was catch, shoot. It was slow. The whole movement was very slow, but it went in. Every single time. You don't have that much time in the NBA to catch and wait.
Close out quick.
Yeah, it's getting blocked every time. Again, so the size, the speed, good things. I mean, excuse me, the explosiveness, good things. Size, negative. Shot timing, negative. Accuracy, positive. I'm going through all this to say the Phoenix Suns are one of those people that are out there to saying that they're going to give him a workout. We have one draft pick in this coming draft, and it's the 22nd overall, which, if you remember, he's rated to be an end of the second round, not in the end of the first round, literally 32 spots higher than his current ranking. And a lot of people are thinking that that means that if we draft Bronny James,
I know where you're going.
LeBron James, who has a current opt-out for this coming season, who could be a free agent, will sign with the Suns. Here is where I'm going to say, guys, it's never happening. One, LeBron James is not going to sign for the veterans minimum, which is the only way the Suns can sign any free agents. He's not going to sign for the veterans minimum when he could be signing for an excess of $50 million a year.
I think he would.
He won't.
Dude, you're going to tell me. Okay, listen. Just think logical.
Okay.
The whole reason he is in the NBA still is for what one reason?
Okay. He says it's because he wants to play with his son. He says that would be amazing.
Right. So let's just go by that, right? We can argue he's
and
still
I'll come
good.
back on that.
He's still good. Still plays. I'm not saying he couldn't play.
Still one of the top 15 players in the league. Was on an All-NBA team this year. Unbelievable.
Yes. And but he has said outwardly that this is the reason why he is still playing,
yes.
right? Like he wants to, right? So you're a father, okay? And there's a bond between a father and son that I know nothing about, right? I can't even imagine, but I can understand that, dude, I would play for free to play in a professional game on a team, especially as a veteran, especially being LeBron James, right? I hate the dude, right? But not really hate him. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. Yeah, you hate him.
Yeah, but I would play for if I had his ability and I knew that okay, my son's coming in. One, his back against the wall because nobody is giving him the credit, which I think he's going to do. But he's at least taken it. He's done a great job of taking the criticism. I would play for free, bro. Like that's a father. Like you're going to tell me if Benton goes to the NFL or the NBA and you could play a season with him, but it would cost you the league minimum. You've made $500-600 million,
untold millions,
right?
Yeah,
you're going to tell me you wouldn't sacrifice one 82-game season to play with your son. Maybe, let's say he's good enough to play 50% of the games. You are on the court with your son in the NBA, which 1% of all people who try out to be on the NBA, right? Like it's nothing.
Elite. It's elite company.
You and your son, your genetics, your genes, your everything in you, right? And you are getting an assist from your son for a three-pointer, or you're lobbing one up to your son for a dunk. Bro, tell me you wouldn't play for the league minimum.
Hey, now one thing, I will never be able to understand where you're coming from. As much as you try and illustrate how that would feel, I could never understand it. What? Because I can't even dunk myself.
But no, okay, but take out the basketball portion.
Here's the point that I'm going to make, because I want to come back to that, because I understand where you're coming from. That is where a fan of the Suns who wants to believe LeBron James would come here, because he literally is the missing link. Think about what LeBron James would bring to this team. We have no point guard. LeBron James, elite point guard, who also happens to be elite power forward size. His three-point shooting is only improved as he's gotten older. He can still dunk. He can still run. He can still play great.
It would be crazy. I would never wear his jersey, but I would probably go to a
if he
game.
brought us a ring, I'm telling you, things would change real quick if he was playing on our court with our jersey. People would change their opinions.
Lose his mind.
Oh, dude, I know. People would change their opinions about LeBron very quickly. But here's the reason why it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. A couple of reasons. One, James Jones and LeBron James are tight bros. James Jones is the general manager for the Phoenix Suns. LeBron James is not. Okay, they are tight bros. LeBron James has openly said multiple times his favorite teammate of all time is James Jones. When he won a title with him in Miami and they played together in Cleveland. Okay, so they are tight. Once upon a time, we had Tyson Chandler on our team. Our team was terrible. What we could have done with Tyson Chandler is traded him to any number of contenders at the end of his career with his final year of his contract. What did James Jones do instead? Simply cut him and allowed him to sign wherever he wanted, and guess where he signed? Los Angeles, to be with the Lakers, to be with LeBron James. Okay, we have a track record of James Jones doing things like this, not so much to hurt the Suns, because truthfully, he wasn't going to bring us. Tyson Chandler wasn't going to bring back much. He was at the end of his rope, but he has a record of doing things that are super player friendly. Super player friendly. I can go down a number of listings of people where he traded for them and they immediately cut them because they didn't want to come and he didn't care. It's like, whatever. That's the reputation he wanted to have. I look at this moment right here as James Jones doing LeBron James a solid because, one, again, there are no draft scouts out there who are saying Bronny James is worth a number 1 pick right now. Nobody
Right,
is.
we know that.
The Los Angeles Lakers have 2 picks. The 17th overall pick in the first round, and I want to say the 56th or something like that. Something in the end of the second round, which is where Bronny is projected to go. Now, if you're LeBron James and you have a buddy who you know will do things for you that would benefit you, would you not call him up and say, hey, listen, bring my son in for a workout, put some pressure on the Lakers to make sure he's a number 1 pick? Put some pressure on the Lakers to make him the 17th overall pick in the first round instead of allowing them to roll the dice on the end of the second round. Because now, again, he's only working out for 2 teams, which a player of Bronny's draft status right now,
Should work out for everybody.
He should work out for literally all 30 teams. Anybody who asks, you go and show what you're all about. He accepted 2.
Yeah,
the Suns
so why
and the
would
Lakers.
So on that whole point, right, with
Yep.
James Jones, okay, but why would LeBron be like, hey, draft him, I'll come play for you for nothing, for league minimum, I'll put people in your stands, I get to play with my son, and I'm going to retire afterwards. And knowing full well you would have full control over the Suns because of your relationship with James Jones, right?
Full control, yeah.
Like, you probably could argue that he's going to play more than he probably should.
No, yeah.
Because of that, right?
In fact, that was the thing that we were talking about before we started recording. I look at it and say, what kind of damage would Bronny do on a team like the Suns versus going to the Lakers?
Yeah.
Because nepotism abounds in that regard.
That's what I'm saying.
If he comes here, LeBron comes here, think about the amount of players that were, like, we'll say Ish Wainwright's not a good example because he's been a guy that's just been happy to be on the roster, right? But see players that have been working super, super hard to get into the league that no longer have an option to be on that roster because Bronny's here. Yeah. Or how about guys that actually deserve playing time, that are good, that know how to play?
None of that matters.
They don't get the playing time because Bronny James is here. Bronny is going to be one of the most picked on players in the league through no fault of his own.
I don't know that if I was not a stellar athlete, like 6'8", like my dad, that I'd want to go into the same field. I know that you'd love to play, but like, dude, like, unless you're the quote unquote this era's GOAT 2.0, you are going into shoes you're never going to fill.
Well, and I was going to say, dude, this is one of those things where people will like point at genetics and say, "Oh man, genetics going to carry me." Like, dude, my dad's an accountant. He's 6'3". He's a Division I athlete. I am none of that. So genetics got nothing to do with it.
No, they don't. My father is 5'7" and
there you
150 pounds, and I am 6'4", 250.
Yeah, genetics.
Like you want to
there's some there.
Yeah,
that doesn't mean everything.
That doesn't mean everybody gets it all. Like so.
And tell me, how many of Michael Jordan's kids have you seen play
That's
ball?
what I'm saying. Like I don't even know.
I mean, I know one of his sons.
Anthony Edwards is in the league.
So I know he had a son that played at UCF, University of Central Florida. But like, so what I'm saying is, like, yeah, maybe he's got the genetics to be good. He's not there now. And I think that Bronny has a possibility to be a very strong contributing player in the league. Because, again, explosive athleticism. And if he can play lockdown defense with that athleticism and learn how to release that ball a little bit quicker, he's got a spot in every league.
Which he could. And he could be a starter. Look at, you got Trae Young, tiny guy, right?
Oh, yeah.
Steve Young, tiny guy.
Steve Young, love it.
Sorry,
Nash.
Steve Nash. You don't talk about tiny. Like he wasn't big.
But even Steve Nash
was
puts
taller
down on Bronny.
Yeah, he was taller than Bronny, but... You know, so you got guys, I mean, Muggsy Buggs back in the day. What's Nate Robinson, right?
Yep.
Like, guys have made it pretty big in the league. Even
100%.
if it was only for a few years, they were still starting and playing and balling out based on their height. It didn't matter, right? So it's possible. He's got the name, which is going to help him, which, I mean.
It's going to help and hurt. It's going to help and
It's
hurt.
going to hurt him with the players. It's going to help him with the industry, dude.
Yeah.
Like big time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the players are going to be like, make you earn it, right? They're going to make you that you ain't your dad, and if you like even try, we're going to crush you and say that we did. You know what I mean? Like we're going to brag about it. So
I'll say this:
I get it.
If it happened, you know me, I'm a LeBron James fan. I'll embrace it with both hands. I'm telling you right now, it's not going to happen. It's not happening.
Only time will tell.
It's a leverage play to get them to draft him in the first round. Because that's my point. And you're buying into the conspiracy?
Not conspiracy. I just think that it to me, if I want control, right? I'm playing with the deck of James Jones and I are homies, and I have full control over that team. The coach, doesn't matter. He's new. I don't care. Like I'm still going to have control over that team because I'm going to have my son come in, and it's just going to happen.
Yeah.
Because arguably, no matter what you think about LeBron, these Suns will not have a game that's not sold out.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? And ticket prices are going to go up 30%. Like Matt Ishbia is going to be very happy with it, regardless of what happens.
If you want to talk about the best chance of the Suns winning a title next year.
And that's the thing, bro. Another thing to add to that, right, is your son's rookie year, he's on a team with you who arguably, like if you're saying could be the missing link, you go to the championship with your son.
Yep. That'd be awesome.
It's a far shot, but if you're going to play the deck, you're going to play the odds, and you've already got all the money you need in the world, I'm gambling.
You're still saying goodbye to $48 million.
Yeah, but my endorsement
guaranteed $1 million.
Dude, endorsement deals, all this stuff going on. He goes, you know what? It is guaranteed $48 million, but I don't care because I've got $800 million in my bank account. I don't care.
I know. I'm just saying.
That'd be like one of us saying, "Hey, it'd be nice to have $480 extra, but I don't care." You know what I mean? Like I'd rather play with my son than to have $480 this year. It's a little bit less of that. You know what I'm saying? But you see my point is that's that kind of money.
Trust me, I do understand the point you're trying to make, in that you're saying that a guy that's a literal billionaire is probably not looking at $48 million as much compared to the
us.
memories he could make with his son. I don't think that LeBron James cares that much about those memories, because I think this is a leverage play for him to get his son to LA, to be with the Lakers, to be a first-round draft pick in the teens, not 20s, which is important to the vanity. And I think it's his way of making sure that the Lakers do what he wants.
Well, you also thought the big three in Phoenix was going to work. But
that's true. That's true. Fair. All right, y'all. Well, that's it. We had a little bit of a hiatus there because we were out of town. But, we'll get back to you guys on Wednesday with the Kobe era GOAT draft.
Yes.
Greatest of their time. And I am so excited.
And Carl and Zach will be back.
Yes, that's right. Carl, heal up, dog.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I almost forget what I say.
Fat kids in dodgeball. We're out.
I literally forgot. Stay fresh, cheese bags. The JJ and Pug Show theme song was written, composed, and performed by Lane Hartman. Special thanks to Highland Communities for all the support given to our show. You can find the JJ and Pug Show podcast wherever you do listen to podcasts. Look us up on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Remember to share the show with your friends and family and subscribe wherever you do listen. If you're able to, please feel free to support us by sending a donation to us by going to ko-fi.com/the JJ and Pug Show. That is ko-fi.com/the JJ and Pug Show. Again, thank you so much, everybody, for all the support, whether that is by simply listening, whether that is sharing it with a friend, or giving us that sweet, sweet cash. We truly appreciate it all. Thank you so much.